From humble beginnings to the pinnacle of power, Napoleon Bonaparte's life was a whirlwind of military genius, political ambition, and personal triumph. Today, in this episode of Historic, we delve into the extraordinary tale of this enigmatic figure, examining his rise to prominence, his meteoric fall, and the lasting impact he left on Europe and the world. In the early 19th century, Europe was dominated by the powerful French Empire, led by the charismatic and ambitious Napoleon Bonaparte. After a series of stunning victories, Napoleon had conquered much of the continent, including Spain, Prussia, and Austria. However, in 1812, Napoleon's fortunes took a dramatic turn when he invaded Russia in a disastrous campaign that resulted in the deaths of hundreds of thousands of French soldiers. Defeated and humiliated, Napoleon was forced to abdicate the throne and was exiled to the remote island of Elba off the coast of Italy. However, Napoleon was not one to give up easily. In 1815, he made a daring escape from Elba and returned to France, where he was greeted with enthusiastic support from the French people. Napoleon's return sparked what is known as the 100 Days Campaign, a period of intense military activity that culminated in the Battle of Waterloo. During the 100 days, Napoleon raised a new army and set out to reclaim his lost empire. He faced a formidable coalition of European powers, including Britain, Prussia, and Austria, all determined to prevent Napoleon from regaining power. On June 18, 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte's army met with the Duke of Wellington's Anglo-Allied army at the Battle of Waterloo. This decisive battle would mark the end of Napoleon's reign as Emperor of France and usher in a new era of peace and stability in Europe. As Napoleon had escaped from exile on the island of Elba and returned to France in March 1815, he quickly raised a new army and marched on Paris, forcing King Louis XVIII to flee. The European powers, fearing Napoleon's return, formed the Seventh Coalition to defeat him once and for all. The Battle of Waterloo took place near the village of Waterloo, in what is now Belgium. The French army, numbering about 72,000 men, faced an Anglo-Allied force of about 68,000 men. The battle began at dawn on June 18, with the French launching a series of attacks on the Allied positions. The French cavalry, led by the famous cuirassiers, repeatedly charged the Allied lines, but they were unable to break through. The Allied infantry, supported by artillery, stood firm. By mid-afternoon, the Prussians, under the command of Field Marshal Gebhard Leberecht von Blücher, arrived on the battlefield and attacked the French right flank. The arrival of the Prussians was a turning point in the battle. The French army, now outnumbered and exhausted, was forced to retreat. Napoleon himself was nearly captured during the retreat. He escaped, but his army was in disarray. The Battle of Waterloo was a crushing defeat for Napoleon. He was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena, in the South Atlantic, where he died in 1821 at the age of 51. The defeat of Napoleon also led to the end of the Napoleonic Wars, which had ravaged Europe for over 2 decades. The Congress of Vienna, which met after the war, established a new order in Europe and started the beginning of a period of peace and stability known as the Pax Britannica, based on the principles of balance of power and legitimacy. The Battle of Waterloo was a pivotal moment in European history. It marked the end of an era of revolution and war, and ushered in a period of peace and stability. The legacy of the battle continues to be felt today, as the values of democracy, liberty, and the rule of law remain at the heart of modern Europe. Napoleon Bonaparte's legacy is a complex tapestry of brilliance and folly. His military prowess reshaped the map of Europe, while his authoritarian rule sowed the seeds of future conflicts. Yet, his contributions to law, education, and infrastructure continue to benefit society today. Napoleon's story serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance between power and ambition, and the enduring influence of one individual on the course of history. Thanks for joining us in this episode of History. Subscribe for more of historic content like this.